What if the dinosaur extinction, the creation of the moon, and the 23-degree tilt of the Earth weren't, just isolated mysteries? What if they all happened simultaneously on the exact same day?
Yeah, it sounds like sci-fi, but that is exactly what we're looking at today.
Right, so welcome to the deep dive. You, like most of us, probably sat in a classroom where you were forced to memorize these totally disconnected facts.
Hmm.
We're basically taught to accept these pseudo-knowledge silos, right?
Right, like it's just a natural law that science is full of confusing, isolated mysteries.
Exactly. But our mission today isn't just to look at this radical new geological concept from our sources called the Small Bang Theory by Arndt Michael Meyer. We really want to examine how it challenges, well, our entire scientific institution and education system.
Yeah, because the author argues that the scientific community needs a massive mindset shift. I mean, currently, science expects us to just accept that having missing links is just how the world works.
Which is wild when you think about it.
Wow.
We just accept being wrong as the norm.
We do, but the source material argues that with a unified approach, we don't actually have to settle for that disconnected worldview.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Look at how we currently teach Earth history. It's like forcing students to memorize a 10,000-piece puzzle without ever letting them see the picture on the box.
That is a great way to put it, honestly.
Right. You get the moon's creation in one chapter, the Earth's tilt in another, and then the dinosaurs are over in biology. But the Small Bang Theory, or SBT, claims these aren't isolated at all.
No, not at all. It argues they are all the direct result of one single deducible event exactly 66 million years ago.
The Earth's sealed granite crust just bursting from immense internal pressure.
Exactly. Think of the early Earth like a sealed pressure cooker with a faulty valve.
Okay, pressure cooker, got it.
Right. So over millennia, this immense internal pressure builds up beneath a solid granite shell, and eventually it catastrophically blows its lid.
Okay, wait, I have to push back here, though. Because a bursting crust is one thing, but generating enough localized force to permanently tilt a whole planet and spawn a moon.
I know, it sounds impossible.
Yeah, the physics of that sound impossible without shattering the Earth entirely. How does the source actually justify that mechanism?
Well, the theory argues that the explosive ejection of this crust acted like a massive planetary thruster.
A thruster, like
Yeah.
on a rocket.
Basically, yeah. It packed enough kinetic energy to knock the Earth 23 degrees off its axis without actually destroying it.
Oh, wow.
And then that same ejected mass coalesced in orbit to form the moon, while the global fallout from the explosion triggered the mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs.
That is intense.
It is. But instead of accepting missing links as a permanent reality, the author is looking for a unified root cause. Because if everything in the physical world can be logically explained through direct cause and effect, you drastically simplify the learning material.
You move from memorizing disparate anomalies to just understanding one continuous logical story.
Right, and imagine the immense relief that would bring to overwhelmed students and researchers.
But if this single event actually proves true, it doesn't just change geology. It instantly makes millions of textbooks completely obsolete.
Oh, absolutely.
The sheer logistics of that are staggering. Like, who takes responsibility for rewriting our entire understanding of history?
Well, that is the exact friction point the source highlights. It's about taking ultimate responsibility for knowledge.
Which academia isn't always great at doing.
No, they aren't. The author argues that academia is currently trapped in this self-reinforcing cycle of grants, publications, and rigid dogmas.
Like a massive sunken cost fallacy.
Exactly. If you spent your whole career teaching the subduction of tectonic plates as an isolated thing, adopting a unified model threatens your legacy.
But if we apply this logically connected path, subjects stop being, exercises in rote memorization.
Right, they become fascinating, deducible narratives of cause and effect. But it forces universities to completely rethink how truth is taught and who actually gets to define it.
The source actually brings up that famous quote by Max Planck, right? That a new scientific theory doesn't triumph by convincing its opponents, but because its opponents eventually die out.
Yeah, it's a harsh reality.
And the author provocatively asks today's scientists, what will you tell your grandchildren when they ask why you missed this obvious truth?
It really demands that we stop treating wrong or disconnected facts as just a permanent fixture of our education.
Right, replacing those pseudo-knowledge silos with something real.
Yeah, because when we replace those silos with a fully logical, connected framework, true learning can actually happen.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Whether you view the Small Bang Theory as a literal geological revolution or just a fascinating thought experiment, it powerfully exposes the dangers of disconnected learning.
Absolutely.
It shows us how deeply we need coherent, holistic education rather than just passively accepting a patchwork of pseudo-knowledge. So I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder today.
Well, for it.
If every school textbook were suddenly erased tomorrow, forcing us to rebuild human knowledge not as separate subjects, but as one single logical story, what is the first established fact you would critically question?